So we have it then. It's the first game for Graham Potter ending defeat, 2-1 to Aston Villa last night. Before I go into the game, though, I just want to talk quickly about a couple of things that have happened on the channel. Yesterday, we had a hacking situation, quite serious, actually. I'm not going to go into much detail about it. Very stressful trying to get it sorted. You'll notice on the channel the name is not right at the moment. There's a lot of issues there still being resolved by YouTube. But just a message to everybody, to be honest, just to be really vigilant with emails and things like that. These people are very slick. I know what they're doing, and they can once they're in, and they can just totally cock your whole life up very fast. Very stressful. So unfortunately, because I was really looking forward to Friday, really looking forward to the day, and this all sort of started unfolding just around about 2 o'clock yesterday. So unfortunately, I was totally distracted trying to get that sorted out. Very stressful, and still is. We're still trying to get it resolved. So just a message to everyone, just to be really vigilant. Every email you get, messages, phone calls, be so careful, because these people prey on you. Do you know what I mean? And I consider myself very sort of switched on with things like that. If I get a phone call, I don't know a number, I don't answer it. I'm very, very careful. Do you know what I mean? And emails, I'm very careful of. And I fell for it. I fell for an email scam. So it just, to be honest with you, honestly, I bought into it, and it was just, really stupid, really naive of me at times. But there you go. It's just sometimes you get, those reminders in life. You sort of lesson learned. So I'm just trying to get it resolved at the moment. So just to let you know, that's why the channel's looking a bit off at the moment. We're going to get it sorted. Before I also go into the video about West Ham, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. It's free to do so. It really does help us out. Hit that like button. We could do a bit of a lift after yesterday, channel-wise. West Ham-wise, though, look, I'm disappointed with the result, of course. I didn't want to lose. I suspected we would a little bit. I wasn't going into the game thinking we're going to cruise it. I thought it was going to be a tough game, which it proved to be in the end. But I've got to say, I'm really encouraged. I'm not here today angry and really down or anything like that. If we'd played badly, I'd have been quite flat and think, oh, it's such a shame. There's so much to do. I think there is a lot to do for Graham Potter. A hell of a lot. I think that he's clearly already having an impact on the team. I want to say that first and foremost. I think it was evident from the outset. These players' tails are up. They're feeling good. They look like the pressure had been lifted from the shoulders. They just look great. I was really, really impressed. I thought we played really well. We should have been 1-up in the first minute through Paqueta. A really great strike. Unlucky not to score. I was really pleased with the way we played. First half, we were very good. Far better side. Villa was struggling. I don't think they even had a shot on goal in the first half. We, of course, took the lead. I think it was 10 minutes in, wasn't it? Paqueta, lovely move from West Ham. Beautiful cutback to him. He slotted it in lovely in the bottom corner. I've got to say, I was very, very pleased. At half-time, I was a very happy boy. I thought that we played well. I didn't quite like Villa's tactics, this constant... I found it was going down a lot, being a bit... Every time we seemed to win the ball, they always seemed to claim they were injured. Did you notice that? It just drives me mental, really. I was constantly trying to stop the game. Feigning... It just felt like they were feigning injury a lot. Every time, and every time they're going back and showing, the replay, they were showing what's happened. And clearly see there's nothing wrong. It was just, I think that was an instruction. If we're struggling, just go down, just say you're injured. Because every time we seemed to win the ball, there was always an injury for some reason. I'll come to our injuries in a minute. But second half, though, even up to the first, the first half, but even the first, I don't think that Villa really come into it until the last sort of half an hour, really. And that's where we started to crumble. I feel that we struggled, actually. Once Villa got back into the game, you could see that there's that hangover for what we've been through for quite some time under Lopetegui, and also even possibly last season with Moyes. That sort of, we've been through a real tough period where we just look so vulnerable. We've taken some serious beatings, haven't we? Conceded so many goals, and I feel like that cloud is hanging over a lot of these players, and it was evident to see. I think Graham Potter will be very aware of it. If you're watching that, thinking this team's quite vulnerable at the moment. We've got a real soft underbelly because the confidence levels were drained very, very quickly. But I've got to say, though, I felt the injuries... I'll come to their goal in a minute, by the way, the referee's decision. I felt the injuries that we sustained, which was through Fulkrug, which was a real shame seeing him go off, and that's a serious injury. And, hamstring, and it looked like he ruptured it, to be honest with you, the way he was in so much pain. I don't think that was a strain. I would say that he's in big trouble there actually, and it's annoyed me that one because I've been mentioning it a few times that although I said in my team I would have started him, so I haven't got too much of an argument. But I've been worried about him playing because I know we've wanted to sell him. So that's gone now. I mean, he won't feature much this season now. I think he's going to be out for a few months. That's my gut feeling. I might be totally wrong, but that's my gut feeling. So that's a real blow because we wanted to sell him this month, and now we're unable to, and we already know we've got a situation in our hands finance-wise to try and get players in. So really not helpful that. Obviously, Somerville went off at half-time. I think that was precautionary. He was holding his hamstring at one point, came off, and you're thinking, and he was having a great game, Somerville. My word, he was so good. One of his best performances in the shirt. I mean, I'm so pleased with him anyway. I think he's been great for us this season, to be honest, one of the shining lights. But seeing him go off, it was a real worry. But then he carried on, didn't he? He came back on. I was a bit unsure if he's going to, make the injury worse. But he actually seems to. He looked fine to me. He looked absolutely fine. He was running around fine, and he was walking off absolutely fine. So I get the feeling it was precautionary. He's probably, maybe it's a little bit tight. It's a minor strain, I would guess. So I'm not too concerned about the Somerville one, but the Falkirk one was a real concern. Yeah, and then obviously Villa's goal that never should have been, never should have been the equaliser. It was a corner given by the officials. There was no VAR. It really annoys me when you've got a linesman flagging for for a corner or something like that when they clearly don't know that it's happened. They're guessing. He's guessing because it didn't hit anyone, and not only did it not hit anyone, it was miles away from everyone. So why are you flagging? Do you know what I mean? Why are you waving your flag and saying that's a corner when you've got no bloody idea? It really wound me up. Poor officiating. But that being said, I felt that we were crumbling at that point. You could see that we were really struggling. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still feel that decision went on to cost us, but whether they'd have got the goals anyway, who knows? But it was disappointing to see us show that side of ourselves again. That feeling of, oh, here we go. Oh, you could just sense the team started to drain and the energy levels were starting to drop and the confidence levels were dropping. And it's a real shame. And as I say, but having said all that, as much as it was sad, frustrating and horrible to see, it was also partly expected. I don't, Graham Potter's been here one day before the game. He's not going to be able to come in and change everything in a flash and get all the confidence levels up. That's going to take time. So I understand why it happened. I'm not actually that down about it, to be honest. I mean, it's always disappointing to lose, of course. It does make you feel a bit like, especially when you won up and we were playing so well. But I would rather focus on the positives than the negative side of it. The negatives, I feel like will sort themselves out in time. Once we get this defence in better shape and in the confidence levels a bit better in this team, I think we'll be all right. I really do. I was really encouraged because I thought it was clearly evident that even though Potter's only been here for a short stint, for a period, he's clearly having an effect on these players, not just by their kind of mood and confidence and trying what they can to do well. That I actually felt that he has instilled some tactical changes to the team. There's slight things tweaks that I was really impressed with. Ollie Scholes as well was outstanding. Man of the match and fantastic to see it. I mean, my word. I mean, that's a way to straight away endear yourself to the West Ham fans is getting an academy boy out there. I think there's more positives than negatives. I really do. I'm not coming away from it going, oh God, what a nightmare. We're doomed. I actually feel really encouraged. I'm looking forward to the Fulham game. I think that West Ham are going to be up for it. And I thought that Potter came across really well in the pre and post-match interviews. He comes across so well. I'm really impressed with how he talks, actually. It's refreshing, isn't it, to actually have a manager who can understand and talking about the game properly. And I'm not going to be down about that. I'd encourage you to be the same. I don't think you need to be too despondent and angry, upset about the game. I thought there was a lot of positives to take from it. It's just a shame. It was just really a shame. It didn't help that we had some bad luck. We had bad officiating and we had the injuries. I think if those three things, if we hadn't lost Falkirk and Somerville and that corner, I think we'd have won the game. I really do. I think those three things were massive in the game. It puts a lot of pressure on us now for January, absolutely, which is understandably so. but it is what it is. We can't keep moaning and grumbling. It's West Ham are in this position. I'm more than confident in the fact that I feel we will get better this season. I think we will try and push for a top half finish. That's why my heart, what I'm feeling at the moment. I think we just need, it's one of those that you watch that team, you think, and consider the fact it's Potter's early part of his time at the club. It's like we need that win. We need that good first win. Let's get a good result. Hopefully it's against Fulham, and I feel like it will just lift everyone, lift the players, and we just need that because we weren't a million miles away from it. Let's get it straight. For the vast majority of that game, we were the better team, and that's against a very good team in Aston Villa. And I thought we looked very good. It was just that fact that once they started coming back into the game, you could see our confidence levels, and we started looking a bit shaky. And that's something he needs to address. There's a lot of work for Graham Potter to do, no doubt about it. But I'm still very encouraged to consider the fact that was early stint, period of his time at the club, and that's already what we're seeing. I think there's a lot to build on. So look, I'm going to leave it there for now. We've got some videos coming up, of course, of transfer stuff and all that. Obviously, I'm going to be trying to sort this channel stuff out and what's been going on. So do bear with us with that. And yeah, look, I'm trying to enjoy the rest of the weekend. And until next time, come on your own.